Happy 13 November 2022. It's my pandemic chronology video for the day. It is early. It's like 12 something a.m. I guess it just past midnight. I've been lying in bed trying to fall asleep but not falling asleep, and it's actually COVID-19 pandemic related. And I talked to my parents a while ago. I guess it would have been, I think it was earlier this year, like maybe around March. So like March 2022, perhaps earlier. I was trying to think of, I think it was earlier. But this is during the COVID-19 pandemic. I had started thinking of how could I make some money during the pandemic? What am I good at? And I'd been writing and publishing on Wikipedia as part of pandemic pit crew writing work about aquatic sports, and I was like, that's unreasonable. The pool membership alone is like $1,000, and I don't got that kind of money. And I'm not that fast, right? Like if I wanted to win prize money in swimming, that could take, as someone who has not gotten faster in over 13 years in swimming, it's safe to say that I peaked as a teenager, or at least I have plateaued, and I peaked. I like to frame it as I peaked as an 8-year-old. So it's like, okay, swimming's out of the picture. Reality check. I have not gotten faster in like a decade. Over a decade. So what was I actually good at in sports? Like, is there anything in sports where I'm actually a competitor? And yeah, running. So I'm from Washington State. I think Brooks Shoes comes from here. Nike shoes, boo Nike. It's a Oregon brand for Washington. So like there's the Washington State Oregon rivalry. So we hate Nike here. We like Brooks, that kind of thing. And Brooks is really a fostering company. They promote growth, and they have these open competitions. So open to anybody, any age group, and you can go and run for money. And it's like a series of events, so there'll be like 4 events in a year, and then if you win a certain event each time, or the overall winner for an event across all the like stops of the series, you win prize money. And so my mile time is competitive. It's like there's not a gear, and that's like my personal best mile time, which is like a 4-minute 47 seconds. And so I was like, well, if I wanted to do, so I brought it up with my parents. I was like, that's one way I could make some money is running. And so that's actually what I've been lying in bed thinking about that. And I was like, that's a COVID-19 pandemic chronology update. And I haven't done it like just after midnight filming. I don't know if I will post this tonight. Sometimes with these things, if I just like talk it out, like make a video or write it down, it kind of leaves. So I'm hoping I'll film this and then go to sleep and then post it in the morning, assuming there's audio. But I was like, yeah, this has come up before in the pandemic, and it stems from my pandemic pit crew writing and publishing work. So it's writing related, oddly enough. But yeah, I was thinking about the video I made yesterday. Was it yesterday? It's late. It's early, I guess, technically. About how someone 7 seconds faster than me in a 100-yard race in swimming was laughed at because her time, and told she was horrible. Her times were horrible, and we were the same race. And those were NCAA Division I recruiters in swimming, and they did not even acknowledge that I existed, right? So they were, Bethany felt kind of bad for me, but I felt kind of bad for her, so it was like a snowball effect. It was like, dang, they mistreated you. You're like, she's the one who went on to swim and stuff, and I was just like, but they mistreated you. Like, they didn't even acknowledge that you guys are here, right? Like, not just me, but the rest of the team. Like, they couldn't care less about us, kind of thing. And I was like, is that what I'm meant for in this world? To not even have my existence acknowledged as a swimmer? And have people who are 7 seconds faster than me in a 100-yard race laughed at because their times are so horrible? Or was I born to run? And it's very different. So the sports are very different for me. So swimming was something my parents put me in at a very young age. Like, a toddler when I had my first swim lessons, and I just took right off. Running we had a 100-yard dash in elementary school, and if I'm recalling correctly, I was the fastest female sprinter in our school. And that was like, everybody had to run. It wasn't just athletes. It was, so I started off as a really, really good sprinter, and I played soccer, and they put me on defense because I was the only person, and like at the beginning, and then we developed sprinters as defenders, we had like one of the, I think she even ran state in like the sprints, for track and field. I could actually track her down, chase her down on the field, as a defender. So this person who's like really fast at sprinting, I could actually chase down on the field in soccer. So like, and then I was the fastest female in our school for my grade. Sorry, not for the school, in my grade. It was a certain year we did that. So in my grade, I was the fastest female sprinter. And so it was kind of like, I've always known I can run, but it wasn't something my parents kind of put me in. So in middle school, I was overweight, and I needed to lose weight. And so I started running for my health. And then I realized I wasn't too shabby at it. I liked the way it felt when I was running like about 7 minutes something miles. I was like, this actually kind of feels nice. And especially as I lost weight, I was like, it feels nice. It's different than swimming. I actually like enjoy running. And so I just focused on self-discipline and self-improvement, and I measured out and marked out my own courses, and I ran those. So like the perfect 4-mile loop with 13 hills, I would run, every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or something like that. And so I got faster, and by the time I was 19, I ran my first mile in less than 5 minutes, and I ran it in the rain. I had, at that point in my life, been living in Seattle. I was living in South Africa, but I had lived in Seattle, or the greater Seattle area, where it rains a lot, for almost 20 years. So I was 19 at that point in time. And so I was for almost 20 years, almost 2 decades. And so the rain just felt like home, and I just ran fast because it felt good. And so, and that was the first time I ever achieved like a fast time. And it's not a fast time, like the world record is like 4 minutes and like 14 seconds or something like that, or faster. I think it might be faster now. But so it's not actually a fast time, but like it's fast enough that I have run foot races with my soulmates, some of whom are world record holders in swimming, and I can cream the male world record holder in swimming by over half a minute in a 1-mile race. Okay, so like it can be frustrating, and those are like my soulmates, right? Those are the males. I'm like, not all of them. My Ingebrigtsen soulmate is faster than me. So there's that solace. But yeah, maybe like in terms of my pandemic pit crew riding work, and like, I guess I'll what's the update for the day? I'm revisiting this. It was like, if chosen on facts, my times, my trajectories, the fact that I've been running, I ran for a while since I moved home, and at the same weight, so like my performance in running is extremely weight dependent, like how much I weigh. And I was 2 minutes faster at the same weight than I was growing up, like when I was getting faster in running. And I was like, I am a lot faster than I used to be. It'd be interesting if I actually tried, right? Or like, I don't know, like maybe my Ingebrigtsen could coach me, but like maybe like a real coach. But also I don't have that money, right? This is just me doing it myself. Like if I wanted to make money during the pandemic, maybe first losing the weight, which I have been working on since I brought this up with my parents, like permanently and irreversibly trying to, well, okay, that might be extreme, but like I'm losing weight to get faster. So I am working on it. But I don't know. In terms of like dreams, I would love to run. So I would love to run And I would love to run more than swimming. I like the activity more than of running more than I like swimming. Always have, since, especially after, and it's a really unique sport to me. It wasn't a sport that my family pushed whatsoever. It was 100% my own choice and initiative. Versus swimming was kind of, my parents put me in swim lessons. They didn't push, well, okay, that's not so true. I wanted to quit swim team after my first practice, and my parents were like, you get in the pool or we're taking your earrings out, because I had just gotten my ears pierced. So, and that's, yeah, it was more that one was kind of my parents pushing me so that I knew how to swim, right? It wasn't necessarily about swim team so much as just water skills, basic water skills. But running was my own one. So I would say running, I would not, if we're going dreams, because I am quote unquote fast, world championships and Olympic games are not even in that picture, because they don't even offer the events that I race. So I raced the mile and the 2 mile. They offer like the 1600 and the 3200, which are both, so the 1600 is shorter than 1 mile, and the 3200 is shorter than 2 miles. The Olympic games are kind of about truncated offerings. They're not about like the full distance. So I would like a real sporting competition that offers those things. They do exist. Brooks puts on local meets, or they sponsor local meets. They don't put on the meets. They do exist, just not necessarily at the highest level at this point in time. They used to be offered in the past. That could change, but not on my radar. Just a reality check, lying in bed, being like, revisiting yeah, running is still a better fit for me than swimming. So, happy day.